I'm just going to take one passage from the Euthyphro, and the objective is interpret and explain the significance of important passages from Euthyphro by Plato. Mariana mentioned this, and this is perhaps the most important passage or the most important idea from the Euthyphro. And I'll just read it. We shall know better, my good friend, in a little while. The point which I should first wish to understand is whether the pious or holy is beloved by the gods because it is holy, or holy because it is beloved of the gods. And well, I'll go back. I'll go to that in a minute. So on the one hand, it could be it's holy and that's independent of the gods. So then the gods, we don't need the gods. Or it's holy because the gods love it, but then it's arbitrarily holy because the God said it was holy. So it's either arbitrary or it's independent of gods. Either way, it's not a good foundation for the meaning of piety or ethics. Okay, and then for this objective, I just kind of want to walk through slowly what it would look like to interpret and explain the significance of an important passage from Euthyphro. And in a course hearing, I wouldn't expect a student to do all of this, but this gives you kind of an idea of what this objective is looking for. So the context, we know, okay, Socrates is on the way to a trial. Who's speaking? Socrates is speaking to Euthyphro. And what's going on? Socrates is challenging Euthyphro's conception of piety. And the significance in this dialogue is this is where Euthyphro is at an impasse, where Socrates has demonstrated to Euthyphro that his conception of piety is flawed. So that's the significance in this particular dialogue. The significance is in ethics is this, as Mariana pointed out, this is Euthyphro's dilemma, this meta-ethical question about what can we found ethics on? And Euthyphro's dilemma suggests that we can't ground ethics on the divine. And then and this is also great that Mariana mentioned this. So this is an example. This is kind of a really great example of a Socratic dialogue, where what happens in these dialogues is Socrates is talking with an interlocutor about some topic, and the interlocutor comes and has all the confidence in the world that their understanding is right, and then Socrates keeps asking questions to kind of show the shortcomings and the flaws in that person's conception of whatever principle. And in the end, there's not some bright, obvious resolution. It's like, okay, yeah, we don't really, what we've discovered is this person is Euthyphro doesn't understand what piety is, but we don't have a rich sense of, oh, well, here's what piety really is. So that the part where, and you don't need to know this is just helpful for reading Platonic dialogues in the future. The part where Socrates just asks questions, Socratic dialogue, Socratic questioning, or the Socratic method, where Socrates doesn't start out saying, here's what piety is. Instead, somebody else proposes something, and then Socrates just keeps asking questions to demonstrate the flaws or the faults in that conception. So that's elenchus is kind of the technical academic term for Socrates' method. And then aporia is the kind of academic technical term for an impasse at the end, where they're like, yeah, we don't know what it is. We haven't reached a conclusion, but we're at a place where we don't know how to move forward from here. So those are two helpful terms. So if in a course hearing you're presented with a passage like this, if you have a sense for like, yeah, here's what's going on in this dialogue or in this work, if it's relevant, who is speaking, especially what's going on, what's being articulated or expressed here. And then these other things are helpful to give the context in this dialogue and the context in the field of ethics.